I'm here with Subhan, and I'm inquiring with him. Tell us a little bit about the upcoming workshop, the Tao Experience, happening at the end of January.
Usually I like to ask people, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask about the workshop itself, rather than trying to give you a big overview. So I may be putting you on the spot, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what being in the flow is all about.
Yeah. What do you think a participant could get out of this 10-day experience? What kinds of things might they explore or learn about themselves in the process?
So the beauty of the Tao experience is that there is no set situation or activity or meditation or process. It's all going to depend upon each individual person. They're going to bring to the workshop whatever it is that they'd like to explore about their lives. They may not even know what the question is until they get into the actual experience of the workshop. And once that starts, then it starts to be part of what we can call the Tao experience, or the flow of whatever is happening, or the resistance to whatever is happening. So that's a good beginning to tell you what some people might get out of this workshop. They're going to get out whatever happens to them, whatever experience each one has. I did this workshop 46 years ago in Pune, India, in Osho's ashram. And there were a group of us that came into the room totally unknowing what was going to happen. And then we sat. And in this particular workshop, we actually sat for about 8 or 9 minutes until somebody said, "What the hell are we doing?" And the group leader, whose name was Amitabh, just sat there and kind of shrugged his shoulders. And it proceeded from there. This is not the way we're going to start this workshop, but it's basically going to be, how can we live in this now moment, in this flow of this moment, with as much awareness as we can possibly find? And what will be the questions, and what will be what we bring to it that might have something to do with an issue we have in our lives, or a problem that we feel is there that needs to be looked at, or whatever else is on our plate. So that's the possibilities for everyone. It's really totally open to whatever anyone brings.
Along with the processes that happen during the course of the workshop, what would be the structure, what might the structure be of the meditations themselves during the course of our time together?
Each meditation has a certain structure to it, but there's not going to be any structure that at 4 o'clock we're going to do this meditation, at 8 o'clock we're going to do that. It doesn't work that way. We'll see how it feels. It'll be the group that's going to look at what needs to happen next. And of course, as a facilitator, I'm going to be there with some understandings and some ideas and ways in which I can share with people, and that they can begin to understand certain things. It is such an amazing process to be in that flow without any idea of where we're going. But the fact is, we do go. And we go with what can be called the Tao, the flow of life. And there will be times where we'll be sitting there, and maybe somebody's going to get very tired and not want to say anything, and we might sit in silence for a while. Or someone may recommend in the group that we do a certain kind of meditation. Or I might suggest that, or Shanti, who's going to also be co-leading with me, might suggest something. So that's how it's going to happen. And I can't tell you how it's going to happen.
Sounds like it's all going to unfold moment to moment.
It is. And it's remarkable what happens in that process. And for most of us, we're not prepared for it because we're not prepared to be alive right here, right now, the way I am with you, talking about things. If we were sitting as a group of people, just simply talking, it would flow in a certain way, and there might be silence for a period, and then someone would jump in. There might be a feeling of discomfort because there's silence, and someone might want to ask a question just to stop the silence from happening. Or there might be questions that are really substantial, and then I can use that substantiality to help someone explore what they're looking at.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want us to know about this workshop, or why it might be the very thing that somebody could really be the perfect timing for them to join and participate in?
Anyone who has a problem, anyone who has an issue, anyone who has a relationship that has some kind of friction involved in it, anyone who has a job that they're not particularly happy with, anyone who has a boss that they're having difficulty with. Do you want me to keep going?
No.
Anyone who has any of these things and wants to explore them and wants to begin to understand them and wants to begin to understand themselves, this is a perfect opportunity. It's going to be 2 full weekends and 4 evenings, 2-hour sessions, where we'll come together between the 2 weekends to tie things up, maybe to explore a couple of things. And the total will be 10 days. And there's an amazing possibility of what can be explored. And not only what can be explored about your particular issues, but what can be explored about others, because our issues are not so different. So much of our conditioning is similar to one another. So we may have someone who's going to raise an issue about their life, and we're going to find, wow, they're talking about my life. Because we will be. Invariably, we'll be talking about everyone's unconscious life and how we can become aware and more conscious and more in tune with the other, with ourselves, and how to deal with the issues that start to rise as a result of our being on this planet.
Yeah. No, it sounds like a wonderful opportunity. So anyone who's interested in this workshop, they can find the registration and details of the event on the website, right?
Right, www.worldofmeditation.com. But I'm going to invite everybody, anyone who wants to explore, anyone who wants to experiment, anyone who wants to start to look at themselves and starts to look at themselves as others are looking at them, as they are looking at others, as we are together involved in this exploration which we can call the Tao Experience, moving in the flow or moving against it, trying to push it, trying to control it. All of this is going to come out sooner or later, and this is a perfect opportunity for it to come out and a place for us to explore it. So I'm going to invite you to come. Please come and join us.